You're watching Market Movers. We're joined today by Damien Loh, CEO of Matrix Asset Management. Damien, a very good morning to you. Listen, I want to talk to you about crypto prices. Bitcoin in particular have been looking a little bit range bound over the last week. Steady though, and just breaking above the $22,000 mark as of Tuesday. Is the crypto contagion, in your opinion, entirely priced into crypto prices at this stage? What are investors now looking at, given that they seem to really shrug off those large inflation numbers from the US that we saw last week?
You know, the macro is still the front and center in everybody's minds. I think that people are waiting to see if the Fed will continue to keep pace on their hiking. And that's why it's been a little bit range bound overall. New news, like even bad news, is being discounted now because it's kind of somewhat expected, even if it's higher than the print number. So that's what's everyone's sentiment right now. I think if anything, as you said, it's been range bound to a little perky, given that there was a soft announcement that there is going to be the merge in Ethereum happening in September. So that's specifically the crypto markets that has people with a slightly bullish tone to, or at least put a floor on things for now.
In terms of strategy then, what are you looking at next? What are you talking to your clients about? Where do you think the main risk is going to come from now?
I think tactically, back to the merge, Ethereum will outperform the other cryptocurrencies overall. That was something that was in people's minds before that. And if you look at ETH relative to BTC as a ratio as well, it was one of the ones that sold off more. So specifically, I would prefer Ethereum from a tactical perspective, maybe not on a longer term perspective. So that's what everyone's looking at overall in the crypto markets. In the macro markets, I think there is a view that Europe in all shapes and forms will underperform the rest of the world, given that it has to slow down economically from the energy constraints that they're having to face right now, given the war next door.
And amid all that risk, in terms of the opportunities available, what are you looking at? Where are the growth areas going to come from in crypto now?
The theme had been enduring even before the crashes that, and it really makes sense to me, is that where are you gonna get the next billion to come on to like crypto and DeFi overall? It's definitely going to be the people that might not be crypto native but digital native overall, and in which case it's really the gamers. So anything where there is a way to have the gamers segue into the space. And it's also easy to kind of modify some of the things that have been hot previously to suit it to gaming overall. One easy example could be like NFTs, where they could easily be modified, so to represent skins in games, and it doesn't really need to detract from the games itself, but it makes it an easy way to have a secondary market for the skins overall, and for the gamers to get used to the whole concept of blockchains, digital assets, and NFTs overall. So I think that VCs are focusing a lot on that aspect, and rightfully so. And you'll see a lot of growth there. And there's billions in gaming overall. So there's even though there's a lot of money and there's a lot of protocols, I think there's a lot of money overall to be made. And there'll be a lot of winners, and it's not a winner-take-all kind of scenario.
All right, Damien, let's just finish up with a quick chat on regulation. We know India is pushing very hard at the moment to take the lead on global rulemaking. The US, though, is also considering what will presumably be a vital crypto bill, and a variety of other jurisdictions are also looking at tweaking their rules in the midst of the contagion, in the midst of everything that's going on. How worried are you about that rulemaking?
I think, yeah, you're right to point out in terms of regulatory risk, and I don't think it's very specific to the US. I think this has been a global phenomenon in nature, and what I really hope from regulators is that they don't take the wrong lesson out of this all. So hopefully they actually get a little bit faster in terms of looking at the space and really spending some resources to get people to look at it and come up with regulations, but not be draconian in the sense to try to stymie development and growth in this area, but really just to have guardrails and guidelines, so that people have a lot more clarity and are willing to build and understand where the boundaries are and are able to go forward and take this whole space to the next step.
All right, Damien, thanks so much for that. As always, that was Damien Loh, CEO of Matrix Asset Management.
Thank you, Joe.